We've all done it. We've all left a trade show with a stack of cards and with these great conversations in our heads and these ideas. And we're going to go back to the office and we are going to call every single one of them. We are going to reach out to every single one of them with that personalized message. But then life gets in the way and we don't follow up with those people, or when we do, the conversation isn't as fresh. We're not able to add in those little personal touches about the daughter's soccer team winning the championship, or the son getting his personal best in swimming, or your round of golf, or the football game this weekend. All the conversations start to mesh together and you can't put it down on paper to deliver that nice personalized conversation you have to follow up, to show that you truly enjoyed your conversation together. Today, my good friend Courtney Nagel from WTWH Media posted something, and I want to read it to you. It says, events are no longer just about branding. They're about performance.
Before we jump in, your host is Donna Peterson, and you are listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. We come to you every week with actionable tips and suggestions that can help you be more efficient, create better marketing plans, and be a salesperson that really closes those leads.
I just got back from working with Pendant Molding last week, and when I was there, we talked about trade shows and following up with trade shows, because that is a big problem. We have these great connections, or we have a few great connections, but we don't follow up. And in this episode today, I want to talk about 3 steps you have to do to get the most out of your trade shows while you're there. The first step is all about audience pre-targeting. Go through the attendees directory of a specific trade show, see who's going to be there, and start to reach out to them before the show. There are so many people at shows. Let's say it's Fab Tech, and there's multiple exhibit halls. There's tons of people there. They have to figure out how to allocate their time between meetings, between sessions, between checking in with the office. But you want to make sure they get to your booth because you want to talk to them. You need to find these people and reach out to them before the event so that you can schedule meetings that are on the calendar. Wednesday at 10 o'clock, Donna Peterson's coming by our booth to talk to us about the CNC equipment, the metal forming equipment, our processes in-house. You need to reach out to those people ahead of time. Find them, like I said, go through the exhibit directory, see who will be attending, and start to reach out for them, asking them to please stop by your booth. The other thing you can do is with some of these large events, they're sponsored by specific publications or organizations. Fab Tech, you've got SME, FMA, PMA. All of them have different types of advertising channels that you should take advantage of. For instance, the PMA has Metal Forming Magazine. If you're looking for people in the metal forming space, I highly recommend that you do some advertising with Metal Forming Magazine before the Fab Tech show. What this does is it gets your brand out there. People start to recognize the brand, and then as they walk around the exhibit hall, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's that brand that sent me the email that I thought was really interesting. Or you could even send an email blast to the subscribers of Metal Forming Magazine, and if they click through your email, you then have their contact details so that you can reach out to them by offering them more valuable information. And then when it gets closer to the show, say, I think it would be great if you're going to be at FabTech, let's sit down in person. Let me give you some specific details that would help your company.
Let's take a quick pause from today's podcast to note an exciting event you might all be interested in. If you would like to meet Donna Peterson and get more valuable tips, she'll be speaking at the FabTech Conference from September 8th to 11th in Chicago. Feel free to message Donna at dpeterson@worldinnovators.com to schedule a meeting or get in touch.
Definitely do the pre-targeting before the show, either by going through the exhibit directory or using some of the publication or conference attendees lists that are out there from reputable vendors. I know leading up to shows, we all get those great lists saying, oh, do you want the attendees to the show? What those people are doing is illegal. There's no way the conference company let those lists out. Please be very careful what you do there. The second thing you need to do is your on-site storytelling. Before you get to the show, make sure you have your story. Call it your mission, whatever you want to call it. Just give it a more genuine name, because you don't want to be pitching them. You don't want to be like, oh, World Innovators, we can do this and this. No, you want to be, oh, I'm so glad you stopped by. I really want to get to meet you and see what your needs are in the metal forming space. Make sure that when you're speaking to them, you put them front and center as the most important thing. As if the rest of the room, you've seen this in movies, like the person comes up and the rest of the room goes quiet. That's what you want to be like when you get people who stop by your booth. Your company pays a lot of money for you to be at those booths. When you're there, you've got to be 150% on your feet, asking people for help, but get that story down pat so you know what to say to people when they stop by the booth. And it's not just, hi, how are you? My name is Donna Peterson. They're going to be like, who cares? I didn't come by here to meet Donna Peterson. I came by your booth to see what services of yours can help me do my job better. Start with that. Start with what a challenge might be they're having, or what are their metal forming needs? Are you looking for specific things and with a CNC piece of equipment? Start with those things. You'll notice that people are drawn in. And I just heard recently when I was at Pennant, there was a wonderful gentleman there, and he mentioned people love to hear their full name. So as they, hey, Donna Peterson, so good. I'm so glad you came into our booth. I want to learn more about you and how we can maybe help you with your metal forming needs, or find out what are your metal forming challenges. If you're genuine, the people are going to feel it and they're going to be like, wow, this company is great. They really care about what I am doing. So that is number 2. And like I said, when you're doing that, getting your story, have 3 or 5 questions or pain points already built up in your head. And a great way to do this is you can use ChatGPT to do this. Say, I'm going to be at this specific show. There are going to be people stopping by our booth. Give them 3 different verticals with different job titles. What would be some good questions to ask these people? What are the pain points for these people? What are their goals? And then within chat before the show, do some role playing. Say to your AI assistant, we all know mine is Izzy, say, Izzy, I want to do some role playing. I want to pretend I'm standing at our booth and a CEO from a stamping or an automotive manufacturer comes by our booth. What should be my intro line to them? What should be some questions I could ask them to really create a nice conversation? You don't want to just get yes or no answers. You want to give them a question they think about and they give you more details. And then you create that nice conversation, which leads into other things like your daughter's soccer championship, or your son's personal best in swimming, or your golf game, or all the things I mentioned into the beginning, because that is the magic of in-person events. The magic of in-person events, it's just not asking the question. I found this out. I have a 20-year-old son, and if he came home from school or anything and I just started with the questions, boom, I would get these one word answers all the time. And then I found out if I was just quiet, hey, how was your day? That's it. Don't ask anything else. What would happen is with the silence, all of a sudden I was served up all the information. But don't let people feel like they're being drilled or that you're trying to get some proprietary information out of them. You're trying to build a relationship. So think about how would you do this if you were meeting someone new in a friend zone for a while, or if you're talking to your children, or you're talking to your sister or your brother. Those are the tips to bring in there when you're asking these questions. ChatGPT can do that role playing for you. And then the third thing is your post event follow up. Like I said, we all come home. I remember being on planes like, how many cards did I get? Being so excited about having tons of cards. But guess what? Having tons of cards are worth nothing if you don't follow up with them in a timely fashion, but with a personalized message. Nowadays, people don't want to get, oh, thank you for stopping by our booth. Here is some more details about our services. Let me know if I can help you. You know how many of those they get when they return? They get that even from vendors whose booth they didn't stop by. So you got to make sure that your follow up really stands out by being spot on, bringing in the conversation you had. But how do you keep all these details straight? This is how we do it. You're at a trade show. You just had a great conversation with Tony Baloney. Let's call him Tony Baloney. I don't know where I got that name from, but Tony Baloney just stopped by your booth and you had this great conversation about the hike you went on and the ski trip you're going to go on this winter, but also his need for quality part leveling piece of equipment that he needs in his facility before the end of this year. But he has some additional questions. You have a great conversation. Tony Baloney leaves the booth. Quickly go around the bend, get right into your phone, pull it right up here, get right into your ChatGPT, pull up your audio feature. Hey, Izzy.
Hey, Donna, I'm here and ready to help. Let me know what you need and we'll tackle it together.
Great. I'm here at the Fab Tech booth, and I wanted to tell you about a person I just met at the booth because I want to follow up with him when I get back. But I'd like you to get this started now. I want to tell you about my visit with him and get an email ready. Is that okay?
That sounds great.
Okay, and one other thing is I'm at this show for the next 4 days. So every single contact that I give you, and I'll make a copy of their business card, I'll take a picture of it and send it to you. Can you please put all that information into a CSV file so I can upload it to my CRM?
Got it. That's a great plan. So for each person you meet, just send me a picture of their business card and I'll make sure to organize all that info into a CSV file for you. That way you can easily upload it to your CRM when you're back.
Excellent. But let me tell you about Tony Baloney. So Tony Baloney just stopped my booth. We had a great conversation in regards to hiking, how I saw a bear when I went out for my most recent hike, and about a ski trip I have set for this winter with my brothers out west. Then our conversation went on to talk about how he needs a part leveling piece of equipment in his facility and he'd like to buy it before the end of this year. Can you please start to put together a follow-up email that I can send to Tony Baloney as soon as I'm back in the office, making it sound very personalized because we had a great conversation on so many levels. Bring in some of those personal details, but also give him the specs for the part leveling pieces of equipment we have.
That sounds like a great plan. I'll draft an email that includes a friendly mention of your hiking adventure and the upcoming ski trip, and then smoothly transition into the details about the part leveling equipment he's interested in. That way it feels personal and professional all at once. I'll get that started for you right now.
Excellent. And then after the show, I'd like you to review all the notes that I give you or speak to you and help me create some follow-up social media posts about the show and then do some tagging to the individuals. Will you be able to help me do that?
Absolutely. I can definitely help with that. Just share all your notes with me after the show, and we can create some engaging social media posts that highlight the key moments from the event and tag the individuals you connected with. It's going to be great to keep that momentum going.
Thank you. And then just so you all know, when you do the audio, the entire transcript is there. So you can review this when you're back in the office. But think about that. You just have this conversation with Tony Baloney, and then you go around the bend, you dump all your notes, that whole conversation that you had, right into ChatGPT. Now you're telling ChatGPT, one, store your notes, but also get an email ready. So when you're right back in the office, you won't be caught up with every day. The email's already done. You basically have to go look at it. Remember, AI is only a baseline. Finesse it so it sounds like you and your specific brand and send it out. Then also, based on all the conversations, you'll be able to have social media posts that tag the different people that you meet so that you're creating this great cohesive strategy after you attend a trade show. Trade shows are a wonderful time to really meet people in person and start to form those relationships. And the more value you give these people will instill trust, and they will become customers. And your trade show will be a success. Yes! Utilize chat. It's amazing what it can do for you. Besides just generating content, it can keep track of things. It can give you task reminders, but it can give it to you right at the time you need it so that you can get back to people in a timely fashion. Post follow-up is extremely important. Now, you can't let that momentum die, and that's why it's so important that those emails are sent right when you get back. I wouldn't send them the night that you met them because they're at the trade show. They're being bogged down with email messages. But do I do LinkedIn connections when I'm at the trade show? Yes, I do. And you can do that. You can link out to anyone and connect with them. Create a great nurturing experience that speaks directly to those. And then remember, we also asked ChatGPT to take all the contacts and have them into a CSV file that you can automatically put into your CRM system. Again, saving you a lot of time when you're back in the office, but it also saves on any input errors. I know I'm guilty of it. Maybe I put an extra T on Peterson, or I don't put .com and it's really .net, whatever it might be, but that's where it'll save you on that. So to wrap it up, events are a relationship accelerator because you are meeting those people in person. Anytime you get to meet an individual in person, the relationship, it's almost like 10 steps. You go from getting to know you to being on the 10th date already because you've gradually gotten to know them through the conversation. You know what their kids are into, you know what hobbies they're into, you know what hotel they're staying at Fab Tech, how long they're there, a wealth of information about this individual. And now you can use this to really grow that relationship into becoming a very loyal customer. But do this by offering valuable content and showing that you genuinely care. Before we go, let me just tell you one more story. I worked with a company last year. They were doing a great job promoting their brand, promoting that they were going to be at the show, giving their booth number, everything. They got all these leads. No one followed up with them. No one contacted these leads to say, as we are going to be at booth 101, can I schedule time for you to come so that we can sit down and find out what your needs are, how we can help you? No one followed up on those leads. You've got to follow up on those leads. Otherwise, all the promotions you did is a waste of money. There's no point doing them if you're not going to follow up on the leads. And sometimes it can even tarnish your brand because people are like, my gosh, I reached out to those people. They didn't even follow up with me. It leaves a bad taste in their mouth. If you need help working on this strategy or figuring out how to use ChatGPT while you're at a trade show, please feel free to reach out to me at dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Give us a thumbs up in the review that you like this podcast and hit subscribe. We're all here trying to help each other market better, do sales better, close more deals. So let's help each other out. Have a great day, everyone, and talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.